Now they hosted on the 40 acres on campus grounds. We gather round, discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they're the talk of the town. Podcast tales of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories. From touchdowns to heartbreakers, we discuss it all. Texas Longhorns glory. Here we gather round each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Harry, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams who might. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
Yo, what is up? It is your boys with the Texas Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast. You know, everything was fine and dandy. We were all living our lives, and then some news hit 3 hours ago.
Yep.
And so we'll talk about it. But Tim, before we do that, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. Watched some Masters coverage today. Got to watch that. So I'm excited about that. Man.
Now, did you scoreboard watch it, or did you physically watch people hit the golf ball?
Physically watched.
Okay. Yeah, I missed it today. I was a little busy, but
yeah,
definitely will be on Masters Sunday. For some reason or another in my head, I don't know why, but I thought last week was Masters weekend.
Whoa.
And so I was like watching the scoreboard for the there's lots going on, man. I was watching the scoreboard for the Valero Open. I'm like, dang, this guy won the Masters. And then I saw the commercial for the Masters this week. And yeah. But anyway, hey, it's Masters weekend. We've got Longhorns on the green.
Yes, sir.
We'll give you guys an update on how Scotty and Jordan are doing, amongst some others. But first, as always, Longhorn Fan Battle at fanbattlesports.com. Fanbattlesports.com. Get the latest and greatest on the AFC South. We are 2 weeks from today from the NFL draft. Lots of Longhorns will be drafted. I don't know if all Longhorns will be drafted. We'll talk about that here in a second. But it should be a great night for Texas fans again.
Yep.
Being a Colts fan and being involved in the Colts community, there's a lot of talk around a lot of different Colts that could be drafted, or Longhorns that could be drafted by the Colts, right? That's exciting. Like, Cowboys too, right? The Cowboys are probably talking about a couple guys that hey, we could bring in like a Gunnar Helm and he'd be great for us. We could bring in like a, somebody else and they'd be great. So, Really, really excited for this group of guys. This is the first full like SART class
Yep.
where it was really just SART guys, right? And man, it looked really good. So keep up with us, fanbattlesports.com. Of course, hit us up on Twitter. Almost at 2,900 followers. I think we're at like 2850 something. I don't even know where we're at, but
Yeah.
hit the follow. Guys, the big thing, please, 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 please follow us on YouTube. We are not desperately. We want to grow the YouTube following, right?
Yes,
Of
sir.
course, you guys know how this works. Like, subscribe, comment, helps the algorithm, helps us get ahead of in front of a lot more Longhorn fans, and build a community out here on YouTube. So we'd really appreciate you guys if you would hit the link there in the YouTube. Go to our Twitter page. Hit the link of the live YouTube page. Like the show. Leave it open. Subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. So, and of course, we just hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, and we want to thank you guys so much for that. So also follow us on TikTok at Longhorn Fan Battle. So, all right, Jim, let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
So
Let's do it.
I guess now former Longhorn Isaiah Bond.
Man.
I don't think gets arrested is the proper term because he did turn himself in, but there was a warrant out for his arrest, allegedly, right? Supposedly,
Yeah.
allegedly, for sexual assaults. Now, I haven't had a chance to really dive into it, but from what I was reading, it turns out that this happened in Frisco.
Yep.
Okay. He was released from Collin County or subsequently after he posted bail. He basically said of course on on people, his folks basically says, hey, this is false. I appreciate the time to defend myself and prove his innocence, which we'll let him do. He's currently projected to be the number 57th overall pick in the second round.
Yep.
We don't really know what's going on, right? He says he's cooperating with the authorities, but this is that time, right? This is that 2-week period. Literally this week over the next 2 weeks. This is where stuff like this can impact your draft stock.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what are your thoughts around kind of like what you heard? It's very limited. We don't know much, but what do you how much do you take into not that whether it's true or not, but the fact that it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it has for Isaiah Bond specifically?
I'm really hoping that this gets resolved. I'm hoping whoever he has as an agent and whoever he has as a publicist gets out there. Let me be very clear. I'm hoping that this is not true. I'm hoping this is not true. We had a situation a couple of weeks ago with Xavier Worthy, first round draft pick of the Kansas City Chiefs, superstar at the University of Texas. He had a fantastic career at Texas. He recently went through a similar situation where he was arrested on domestic violence. Same thing. Just in a different light. He was arrested supposedly based on a situation with his fiance. I don't know if they had gotten married or if they are if they're not currently married. I'm not too sure. But Xavier Worthy's already drafted. His situation is completely different from this. It's just the bad timing of this. I'm hoping that this was not true. I'm hoping, but if it is true, we don't want anybody to go the victim. We don't want that victim to go left unheard. We don't want that victim to not be heard. We definitely feel that justice should be served in the case that this is a situation where it's true. You have to be very careful with these types of situations. So again, I'm just hoping that it's not true. Now, allegations do affect draft stock, unfortunately. Where like you said, he is projected to go around the second round, which is early second round. So regardless of the situation, like he's an elite talent. Isaiah Bond can fly. He can do a little bit of everything. He can play everywhere on the field. He can play slot. He can play X. He can play pretty much anywhere. So I'm really, really hoping that that is not the case. I don't want. I really hope that again that this gets cleared up and everything is done prior to the draft, or before the draft. Excuse me. Man, this can go from a situation where he's like a fourth to maybe even a fifth, and once you get down to that fifth round, sixth round, seventh round, you could become a camp body, and we know what type of talent that Isaiah Bond has, but we don't want him to be in that type of situation. So I'm at least hoping that there's not a situation where he, this is true. So I'm just hoping and praying that is not. I'm a fan of Isaiah Bond, and I hope he wouldn't put himself in a situation to make a boneheaded decision like this, to really impact his future before the NFL draft.
Yeah, no, for sure. And these things are a little tricky, right? Like you obviously want due process to play through, right? We want the facts to come out. We want to make sure that everybody's getting the same treatment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but to your point, right? Like, what's the bigger picture here is this could be a huge impact to his draft stock. Like, he already, has the whole promising to beat Xavier Worthy's record and it not even close, right? Like that whole thing is lingering down on him.
Yeah,
now you've got this.
Let's also be clear. 4.3 is still very, very fast.
Oh no! Yeah, no.
Very, very fast. He's a very fast receiver.
But considering what he promised and what he performed, he got nowhere close to that, right?
Yeah.
So you've got that. So now there's this like pseudo ego thing, right? Which a lot of wide receivers have, right? A lot of wide receivers have this like ego thing going on, which is fine. Like you have to have a high ego to play that position in the NFL. Yeah. Perfect. No big deal, right?
Right.
But again, the perception is unfortunately reality in these types of situations, right? Yep. And so when you have that combined with a legal issue, your draft stock has already kind of taken a huge hit. He was a projected first round draft pick before this whole thing started.
Yeah, he started out as a first draft pick.
Combine happens, probably second round, right? Maybe third round. Now you're talking about he's probably not even going until day 3 at this point.
Yeah.
And so it's really important that throughout this process, especially these last 2 weeks, that you're on your P's and Q's, man. Like every little thing matters. And whether you want it to intentionally happen or whatever, it like that's irrelevant, right? The fact that it's a thing and you are from a big brand like the University of Texas, and you're going into the NFL draft, and you have this perception of you already that's like, hey, I think I've got the confidence to think that I'm the best, right? This does not look good for Isaiah Bond. And again, I'm not trashing the guy. I'm just laying out like what this could mean for him from a draft perspective. So we'll continue to monitor this and we'll see how it happens. Obviously, we've got 2 weeks till the draft, 2 weeks from today. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from there. But these guys gotta be careful, man. We're at crunch time. And you've got every little bit matters. So good luck to Isaiah Bond. We hope everything works out well for him, as we always do for all of our Longhorns. And we'll be rooting for you, man. We just hope that this stuff passes by and we get everything else squared away. So, but we will let due process play its role.
Got to. We have to.
All right. Well, we didn't want to talk about that today, but we did. But what we do get to talk about that's exciting is Rory Harmon announces that she will be back. She's going to use her medical year. Real quick, we got a yo from is this Leia Bug?
Shout out to Leia Bug TV. She just
come out. There we go.
She just hit us up. Congrats. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate
Thank you for stopping in, Leia. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Yo as well. Tim, you know what I forgot to do? I had it in my head to do this when we started. Real quick, shout out to Longhorn Luke and Kendra for winning our ESPN bracket, ESPN bracket challenge.
This is actually.
Well, actually, I hope you subbed from this channel too, because you didn't sub from your other channel, from what I remember.
Yeah, for real.
So shout out to Kendra, shout out to Luke. We got them all squared away. Kendra got herself a $25 Target gift card, and Luke got himself a $25 Juiceland gift card. So
yeah,
Luke, hey Tim, let me tell you something real quick about the men's tournament. Okay. This is the best I've ever done in the tournament.
Yeah, you placed fifth.
Third.
Sorry. Third.
We got to a point where I was like, whoa, what happens if I win this thing?
Yeah.
And I've never been close. So shout out to me for getting third, because if it wasn't for picking a couple upsets in the first couple rounds, I could have won this thing.
Right.
So first off, shout out to me for picking the champion for the first time ever. That was pretty awesome. And then shout out to Kendra, man. It came down all the way to the final score of the national title game for her to win this thing. She picked UConn, right? And then she also, here I'm looking at it right here. She picked UConn, and so did the second place
the
person.
Correct score, which she had 141. They scored 141. Now there was another user, I can't remember.
Oh, that's cool.
Name, who picked. She did 138, or that person had a score.
Oh, off by 3 points.
Off by 3 points. So, and while this was happening, mind you, I was sweating bullets because I'm looking at the top winners, and it says number 1 and number 1. So I'm like, oh my God. But you had to do some digging. Of course, the final score was predicted, and she predicted the correct score, 141. Now, what do you think about that tournament? We could kind of cover that and kind of wrap all of this in together. I thought that this was a beating. UConn really came in there and straight dominated South Carolina. The way South Carolina did us. We had a moment where Texas looked really, really good, especially the girls. And they were at one point in time leading for majority of the game. Well, not majority of the game, majority of the half.
A good chunk of it, yeah. They led for all the first quarter. It kind of slipped away in the second quarter.
They went up by a point, if I'm not mistaken, in the half.
And then after South Carolina came back, there was no shot, right?
They made some adjustments that were just so good. Texas didn't shoot well. They also didn't shoot very well. And when you don't shoot very well, and you have a situation where you have a South Carolina got hot from behind the arc, they started putting up shots, and it really looked terrible. But again, man, I can't. That was not what I was expecting as a final game. Now the men's, however, you want to talk about entertainment? You want to talk about
all three of those games were fantastic.
Oh my God, all of those games.
All three of those games were great. Right?
All of the games were so good. That Houston should be a national champion.
Sure.
They should be a national champion.
They should be.
But they did not do well in the second half. And they let that score kind of they made some boneheaded plays at the end of the second half that really just they didn't get any shots off.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that, but again, shout out to them. But again, Rory Harmon coming back is really, really big for Texas. I think with Rory Harmon coming back, of course, Madison Booker being who she is, they're going to, I think, as well as getting the recruits that they're looking at eyeing and getting in, they can make a serious run. Harvey. So what are your thoughts on Rory Harmon coming back? How do you think it affects the Texas team? Do you think they have an opportunity with a Paige Becker's leaving, with a couple of big stars leaving. Again, Juju Watkins tearing her ACL in the actual tournament. That usually takes about 8 or 9 months to come back. I don't expect her to see much of her, if at all, during the regular season. I expect to see her coming back probably around tournament time, conference tournament time. I think at this point, you have a real situation where you can do some damage if you're the University of Texas.
Here's the thing about Rory Harmon. I think Rory Harmon's going to take a huge step next year, and that's because she's going to be healthy this offseason.
Right.
I'm so glad she uses medical red shirt, and I'm glad she's going to take advantage of it.
And for those that don't remember what happened to Rory, she messed up her knee in the 2023-2024 season. She missed a lot of games. I think she missed.
It happened like early in the season, like November, right? Yeah, super early in the season.
And you could tell, that the defense just wasn't the same. So for her to utilize that medical red shirt and come back, means, I think that says a lot to what she feels that they have an opportunity to win a championship.
Yeah, but the one thing that nobody's talking about is that, yes, I understand we didn't get the number one player in the class, right?
Right.
And that's great. Okay, that's not great. I didn't mean to say it that way, but what was her name? Chavez.
Yeah, Aaliyah Chavez.
Aaliyah Chavez, right?
Yeah.
But we are getting an Aaliyah, right? Yeah. We're getting Aaliyah Crumper, who's the number 4 player. Aaliyah Crump, who's the number 4 player in this class.
Yep.
She's also very good. And you know what Aaliyah Crump can do that not even Rory or Madison Booker do very well? She can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
Texas was missing a shooter desperately.
Yeah.
And they've been missing one the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Aaliyah Crump is going to come in and she's going to have it because you have Rory that you have to worry about, right? As the driver. Right. Madison kind of in that mid range. If you can just get 2 shooters, right? And a big, you're good. This Texas team will compete next year if they can get, and you have to hope that Madison and Rory expand their game.
For sure.
Right. This Texas team is not that far from winning a national title.
If Madison Booker can develop a 3 as well,
she can be deadly, man. She could be the best player in the country. She's a great defender.
Really good.
She's a great defender. Her mid range is excellent. She can pass the ball very well. Yeah. She's a great defender. She passes the ball very well. She just needs to, and she has like the silkiest mid-range jumper in college basketball.
You know who she reminds me of? She reminds
Kevin Durant.
I was gonna say her game reminds me of a female Carmelo Anthony. Because Carmelo Anthony's big game, who just was
dirty, right?
His mid game, the way he did Texas back in 2003 was dirty.
That was bad.
He just got elected to the NBA Hall of Fame. So shout out to Carmelo Anthony, one of my favorite players to watch throughout the years. But I see some similarities with Kevin Durant, and I also see a lot of similarities with Carmelo Anthony in his mid game. So shout out to them, and Ashley says shout out to you. So we appreciate y'all coming through again. Like I said, but this is really
this is huge.
This is really.
I think with this combined with the Leah Crump, like I think Texas will be I think they can win the national title next year. Like I honestly think that.
Yeah.
And with the men, Sean Miller, I know you're not a big fan of Sean Miller, but he's already making an impact on the men's side as well.
Right.
He just brought in his 7-foot center, so he's picking up his offensive players. Right. He says that offense is going to be fun again at Texas. He's an offensive-minded coach. He brought in one of his guys from Xavier, who's a great shooter.
Yep.
And this is going to be on offense a fun team to play, to watch play. And so we'll see how that translates. I don't know, but I think on the women's side, if you can go get, I don't know if if Taylor's coming back, and if
Right.
she is, great. Then you've got a big down low. I think she was a senior, if I'm not mistaken, so she
Okay.
might not be.
Okay.
And then you just need to go find another shooter. This Texas women's team is so close.
Yeah.
And it came down, South Carolina came down to exactly what I said it would.
Mhm.
Came down to, can you make enough twos and shoot well from the field? And Texas did not shoot well enough from the field. They shot
Yeah, not
37%. Like,
Yeah.
that's not good enough.
Yeah, not when you're playing an elite team like South Carolina, not when you're playing against an elite team like UConn.
Yeah.
You really got to be on your A game. In that game, they started out great. They actually started out getting to a double-digit lead, and then it just kind of tapered off from then. I don't necessarily know if they gave it all they could in the first half or that first quarter or two, and then kind of lost it or what, but you can definitely see South Carolina's confidence creep in around that third quarter, and then they shut the door in the fourth quarter. Man, they really just did a number on us. It was really hard to watch, but again, that Texas team has a lot of talent, and a lot of things are on the up and up when it comes to women's basketball. Being able to come back and make the Final Four for the first time since 2008. 2003. So over 20 years is a big deal. And Texas women's basketball has always been decent and on the up and up. And I think we're finally seeing the fruits of the labor. Vic Schaefer has done a fantastic job.
So good.
He continues to, bring in the talent that we know he can bring in. Because, man, I for the first time I would say. And actually, it's not my first time saying it, but women's basketball has been absolutely fun to watch. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's on the up, man. Like, these women, there's so much good. Like, we all remember like the Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Teresa Weatherspoon days. Like, that was an incredible group of players, right?
And then you had the Maya Moores of the world, the Candace Parkers of the world, and
Diana Taurasi's.
like all of
we've
these
lived
guys,
through some really great, fun generations. This generation, it started last year with like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and like that group of girls, and now you look at this next group of girls where it's Paige Beckers, Madison Booker, Juju Watkins. Like, there's so much good talent. In women's basketball right now. And now you get next year, you get Aaliyah Crump, and you get the girl that's going to Oklahoma, whatever her name is. I forgot. Yeah, Chavez. Like, they're just the talent in the women's game is so good, and it's fun to watch, man. Like, I'm really excited to see like how some of these, like how the talent pool spreads out over time. Also, listen, man. I told you, I think I said this on Thursday last week. Nobody was beating that UConn team. That UConn team was stacked.
That UConn team was incredible.
And they just got healthy at the right time. If Paige Beckers doesn't hurt her knee, we'd probably be talking about like South Carolina UConn 4, right? Like this, like that's how good those two teams are. And this year, South Carolina, their offense just wasn't there. And they played a lot of defense, and it was about, kind of like Texas, like playing defense and hitting twos. And when you have Paige Beckers and Rudd Fudd, who just like can launch shots at will, that girl, that Fudd girl, she's really good. Yeah, and she'll be back next year. And they have a walking double. She's a junior, I think.
Okay.
They have Sarah Smart, the Sarah Strong, the freshman. My God, she's gonna be she's like All-American material, dude. She's really good. She was a freshman All-American this year. She destroyed South Carolina by herself. She had, let's see. Where is she at? Strong had 24 points and 15 rebounds. That's like, we're talking about Jokic type numbers, bro. And she's a freshman. Right. She also threw in 5 assists just for the geeks of it, right? And then we talked about Easy Fudd. Fudd came out firing. Like Paige really didn't have. Paige went 5 for 14, but she didn't have to do much, man.
No, she didn't have to.
And that's what it's all about. Like, how do you build an offense? And that's how you beat a team like South Carolina. You have to have options.
Yeah.
And they had a 3-headed monster that was unbelievably insane.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's congratulations to UConn. Really cool to see Gino back on top. It's like people forgot Gino existed.
Like,
I don't know how you forget about a guy that's been in
Gino.
Yeah. I don't know how you forget about a guy that's won the most NCAA titles of all time, but
literally
forgot about him.
He's literally won throughout the 2020, throughout the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Like
I think he's won 12 titles in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
He's won half of them. Like put that into perspective.
Yeah.
He's won half of them.
And mind you, South Carolina's won 4. To his
12. But that's only in the last 5 years.
Right. Yeah. South Carolina's
won half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, until Gino puts them up, dude, you don't count that. That's the Bill Belichick of women's college basketball.
I don't see Gino hanging it up anytime soon. As long as he's continuing
he's
like that.
Yeah. He is rolling athletes, bro, through UConn. Like, there's no reason for him to stop unless he gets bored, right? It's like, man,
right.
I've won 60% of these, 50% of these. Why do I need to keep being here?
Right.
So shout out to Gino. Tim, I'm gonna let you take this one because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know much about Texas Fan Day, so you tell me what you know, tell me what you've heard, and we'll talk through it real quick.
Well, so we still don't really know much about it now. Just so you guys know that the spring game has been replaced. Now, I will be the first to admit, and I've mentioned it before earlier, that I have not been a fan of the cancellation of the orange and white game. Me and Harish have been to multiple orange and white games throughout the years, and it is really an experience. Kids, it's really geared towards kids. It's really geared towards, again, the fans. However, Sark has announced early in February of this year that it would no longer be an actual spring game. I'm still trying to figure that out. Why? I think it's a tampering situation that he's mentioned before as well, where people can come in and kind of get a kind of an evaluation on a player, especially a young player at Texas, and they don't want to give people that opportunity to come in and basically poach players, especially young players. So now they have transitioned, and Chris Del Conte a few weeks back announced that this will be the first ever Texas Fan Day. Now, as you can see here that Harish has put up, TM autographs, photo ops, and a bunch of other stuff to come. Now, the orange and white game used to just be a day thing. This looks like this is going to be more of an all-day type of event. It used to just be, you go to the orange and white game, you get an opportunity to get autographs with players, kind of what you're seeing here in front of you. You get to buy merch. They have merch from baseball jerseys to basketball jerseys to game-worn football jerseys, the orange and black practice jerseys that Texas fans absolutely love. You have an opportunity to get in there, make those type of purchases, and they're usually at a discounted rate. I remember last year seeing some game-worn jerseys for less than $100, and we're talking big-name players. We're not talking like Lil Jon that came in and transferred in, and now he's a practice player. Like, if you get in there early enough, you might be able to pick up a Quinn Ewers practice jersey, or you might be able to pick up I'm just spitballing here, an Xavier Worthy practice jersey. Those are just some of the names that I've seen throughout the years, just kind of digging through memorabilia and cleats. They got cleats. If you got kids that's got big feet, we're talking 13 and up. That's you don't want to pay $200, $300, especially with these tariffs that are coming down the pike. You can get these cleats for $60-$70. You got kids that play basketball, they're rough on shoes. They have baseball cleats as well. You can get in there and buy up a bunch of stuff. But they're going to run a style, basically an open practice. It's what I'm understanding. Now, the difference between the open practice earlier in the year, what we see before August, and what we see in spring are two different things.
Yeah.
Usually they give us one open practice in August. One. And the rest of it is just media coverage. Like we're not getting the same opportunities as a fan base to get in there and really see an open practice. But they rarely do those anymore, even if at all. So I feel like this is what is being replaced with Fan Day. They're giving you the same opportunities to come in and watch a practice. You will not see a full game. But I really don't like that, only because I think about how expensive Austin is. Again, I've mentioned this before. It is really getting to a point to where the spring game was important because a lot of these kids, a lot of these fans are not able to come in and see a full game. And that's what the spring game was. And now that that's not a thing, it kind of hurts. Again, all of this, we would definitely have to go and find out. Spring game is April 26th. There are more things to come. From what I've heard, that there might even be an actual live performance like afterwards. But again, the more information that they'll pump out to us, we'll definitely get that information out to us, out to you guys and the fans as we get closer to it. But they've really been really tight-knit on what to expect at this Fan Day. Chris they said that it will be an opportunity, more of an opportunity for you to meet the players versus actually seeing an actual game. So
in this day and age of NIL, like I think there's a lot of value in that, right? You don't get to see Brandon throw the ball 80 yards like that. I get that. Maybe you get that in a practice session. I don't know, right? But there's a lot of value in like getting autographs from these guys now, right? That has a monetary value, that has sentimental value. Like there's a lot of value in that stuff now, right?
Right.
Hey, when Arch Manning was named the starter, his first spring as a starter, I got his autograph on this football. Like that's a moment, right? You could start to build a collection, of stuff during that. And so there's definitely value there. I get it. It's not the same as what we got in the past, which is like an actual scrimmage. And guess what? Texas isn't the only one that does it. You know what? Texas is actually the leader of this. It's not like every school in the SEC at this point doesn't have a spring game at this point.
Right.
And I think that's pretty much how it is like every school in the SEC doesn't have this. So we'll continue to monitor it. We'll see what it looks like. We'll probably be out there that day and just kind of check it out, and we'll take some video and let you guys know. But Texas Fan Day 2 weeks from this Saturday.
Yep.
And then finally, Tim, just to wrap us up here real quick. You watched the golf balls being hit today on day one of the Masters. Yeah. Scotty Scheffler out there. We can confirm. Of course, Jordan Spieth confirmed has been out there. What did you see on the course today? Out in
Scotty Scheffler is clearly one of the best, if not the best golfer in the world.
Yeah,
my man, had multiple birdies. He looks like he's ready to really pursue a Masters. He looks like he's ready to go. Now, Jordan Spieth, on the other hand, man, Jordan has had a rough couple of years. He's had a rough couple of years. Really now, Jordan Spieth has won a Masters before. He's had his time in the sun, but it kind of sucks because he did struggle early. And I think he's tied for like 65th. So I'm
38th, actually.
38th. I'm sorry. 38.
He's shooting one over right now. He'll tee off tomorrow at noon.
Right.
Eastern, I think. And then look, Scotty's sitting at 4 under after the first round, and I don't know what Justin Rose ate this morning, but he only had 22 putts today, and he's shooting 7 under. So it looks like Justin Rose is the guy to catch.
Listen,
we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, as we continue to we really don't have much because they've only played so many holes in one day.
It's only been one round. Yeah.
It's only been one round. We still got 2 more days to go of it. And listen, for a person that doesn't watch a lot of golf, I will say it was actually very fun to watch all of this unfold.
Yeah. The Masters is different, right? Like we always know that this is kind of like how these things go, right?
Yeah.
Like the Masters is just one of those events where you just know, like you don't really know what's it's very rare that one guy leads end to end. Right. Yeah. So what happens today? We'll see what happens tomorrow, and then the weekend is always crazy. Masters Sunday, we've seen it numerous times where Tiger goes in like 2, 3, 4 shots down and wins the whole thing.
Yeah,
like we've seen these types of comebacks happen. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Spieth. I hope he can make a run.
Yeah,
but like you said, it's been a rough couple of years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's all we got tonight, man. Short show tonight. You got anything else to add?
No, man. Like you said, look, as the days go by, we will update you via Twitter. What the end of the end of the rounds, day 2 and day 3, what they end up looking like. Man, it's been a slow week, but again, we've got tons of stuff within the next couple of weeks. I don't know if you know about this, but Microsoft just announced their state of play, or I guess it's their state of play on what to expect with Microsoft in the next couple of months. Hopefully we might get some college football. Don't necessarily know. It's getting to that point. Listen, we're a couple months out. It's what, April? We got May, June, and July. I expect that hopefully we see something from EA Sports college football. I'm hoping that we see something within the next couple of weeks. But once we find out, we will definitely keep you guys posted, as we are big time college football fans. I just want to remind the people here that are with us. Harish has an Arizona team that has the best defense in the game, and he's currently not playing. He's currently
man. I'm literally on autopilot, and my team is that's just how good my recruiting. That you got to just trust your assistants, man. You just got to hire the best assistants,
no.
And then you gotta run the program.
Defense in the game at a 95 overall on defense. Awesome. Mind you, I have currently the best overall team with Ohio State with 94 offense, 94 overall defense, and overall a 94. While my man has literally the best defense. They have some of your players have like really, really good stats right now, even though you haven't been active. I think one of your guys is like in the lead for like top NFL or top interceptions in the league so far. And nice. We've played like 3 or 4 games. So,
and I'm at Arizona.
You're at Arizona. Yeah, and you're at Arizona.
You're at Ohio State. You should be like the best overall team, right? Like, let's just put some stuff into perspective here. My assistant coaches are busting their ass at Arizona.
That's a big womp. That is a big freaking womp. But yeah, other than that, I don't have anything, man. Short show, like I said. Yep. Just because we have a short show doesn't mean that there's stuff not coming down the pike. Like I said, the NFL draft is in a couple weeks, and we're going to be locked in and ready to go for that with updates and where our future Longhorns or our former Longhorns will have a bright future in the NFL. We will definitely keep you updated on the Isaiah Bond situation again. If he did actually allegedly commit this crime, we don't want anybody to go left unheard. Domestic violence, assault, sexual assault, none of that is good. We don't condone any of that. But if the allegations are not true and it's just a blip on the road, I really hope that Isaiah Bond learns from it, and necessarily not put himself in situations where he can be in a situation like that. and I hope he learns and grows from it. From what we've known and what he's been, Sark has talked, about him in a really, really positive way. He was really, really good at Alabama. He was a standout guy in Alabama. He was a standout guy at Texas. Sark talked very, very highly of Isaiah Bond. So we hope that's, again, this is not in his character, and he was just in a situation where wrong place, wrong time. So other than that, Harish, where can they find you?
Find me at the Uncle Gandhi, and then of course on LH Fan Battle. And then where can they find you?
You can find me at Tim Wayne on Twitter. You can also find me at the Longhorn Fan Battle, LH Fan Battle on Twitter. Also, again, thanks for everybody participating in the tournament challenge. I look forward to doing that. That was really awesome to keep contact, to constantly to be checking after every single game to see where people stand. I definitely placed almost dead last because I had my bracket was terrible on the men's side. On the women's side, I think I finished like 4th or 5th. Can't remember off the top of my head, but with Texas making as deep as a run as they did, that really helped me out in the end. So shout out to everybody that participated, and I look forward to doing more of those type of things in the future.
Yes, sir. And y'all stay tuned. We've got a big guest coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks I'm working on. So you guys will know him in the community. We'll announce it as soon as that's done. I've been working on this week, and so we'll have him. The goal is the first week after the draft is to have him on the show. So y'all stay tuned. And then of course Matt Brown will bring back on once this Title IX stuff is settled, or this what do you call it? This profit sharing or whatever stuff settles in. We'll have him back on. And Brad Kellner, our guy BK, we're working on getting him back on as well. He's just kind of settling it into Locked On Longhorns. So go check him out every morning on Locked On Longhorns. So, but yeah, between now and then, my name is Harish. This is my guy Tim. We out of here. Peace.
So Gabriel.
Go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, go home.